also have field reporter in the house with us tonight, Jen. Welcome back.
Thanks.
So, speaking of field reporting, last week you were the only one of us that attended the Man Up Productions Gyrocycle Fight Series, and that was at Al Hrabowski's.
Yeah.
How was the event overall, first off, impression?
The matchmaking was fantastic. Great fights.
Mike Rogers, the matchmaker for that event?
I'm not crazy about the warehouse. They had them crammed in there like sardines.
How was it? Hot, cold?
Freezing.
They have a lot of people there?
No, it wasn't a full house. It was not a full house. At least it didn't appear that way to me. There was a lot of empty seats. And as the night wore on, a lot of people left. So I prefer the outdoor venue. The outdoor venue there at Hrabowski's is fantastic, but
too late in the season for
it. Oh yeah, definitely. It was too damn cold.
Recently.
We definitely learned that. I mean, I don't know. My advice to a fighter overall, because I think the outdoor events for fans are great.
Yeah.
But fighting is tough enough as it is. And to say, okay, I'm going to fight and I'm going to deal with whatever elements happen to be that day, whether it's too hot, too cold. How often is it like 65, sunny, or a little bit of cloud coverage so you don't even have a glare?
Right.
How often do you have the indoor temperatures?
Not very often.
Yeah. So
Well, it's St. Louis, just wait a day too, they say.
Just wait 15 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
The weather will change, and that's what happened when the event that we saw kept getting colder and colder every.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know what? I mean, Tony does a good job. Would they have 500-600 people there, or 400?
I would say between 3 and 4.
Okay. Well, I mean, Tony always does a pretty good production, and that's.
Oh yeah, he did. They did once again. They did a fantastic job. Yeah, they had trucks that they had the big screens and the TVs on the side of it. They had those. They drove them inside the warehouse. And,
cool.
I think the only problem with the warehouse, I think that they have like a concrete pillar down the center of it. So I don't think they had the option of more space because it was very long and narrow. It wasn't wide.
Gotcha.
So I don't think they had that option.
Well, there's a high spot. There's a concrete goes up, and it's a loading dock.
Jay D'Amato.
Yeah.
How are you?
Hello, I'm here. We were out there discussing the fights, and we were having our own discussion. Sorry I missed it.
We'll get into that debate in the second half.
Last time what they did is they put all the seats up there, so you had a balcony looking down.
It would have been better because it was so tight to walk around in there. It wasn't even funny. It was really tight.
It was. It was very disappointing. I thought it was bigger. Actually, they did it the other end last time, which was open.
More open, yeah.
That's
See, and that's the first time I've been inside the warehouse, except for when they housed the fighters in there, obviously. But it was very, very tight.
Yeah.
Tight squeeze. So.
I was a little disappointed in the facility this time. The one time I went there, it looked wonderful, and I thought it was a great facility.
Yeah,
this time I was very disappointed.
They had it set up pretty good for a small crowd. If they would have just, instead of on the sides there, not had any tables or any seating there.
Well, I was there one time when there was nice weather, and they opened all the doors.
Oh, see, now that
was wonderful. It was evening. It was a beautiful evening. The door, every garage door was open.
Yeah.
Music was playing. It was the wind was. It was just perfect. It was a perfect night to have a really great event. Maybe that's why it felt so open, because all the garage doors were open.
Yeah, because they really didn't have any other.
No, actually, it was hot. It was cold in there.
It was
freezing. It was freezing cold, and everything else is not as bad as the other fights we talked about last week.
Yeah.
But it was still a little cold in there for the people.
Yeah,
I kept a jacket.
And there wasn't, like I was telling, it wasn't a sold out crowd. It was.
No.
It was very sparse.
Well, yeah, and Tony's a guy that doesn't try and cram in 6 or 8 shows a year. He does, 2 or 3 shows a year.
Right.
And he's a welcome addition to what we got going on, in this area. And I think. He's obviously puts together one of the better promotions, and that's what we're looking for here.
Mike did the matchmaking for that one there, Mike Rogers, and he did a great job with that.
Absolutely, that's what we
hear.
hear.
He had like 8, 9 cancellations in the last week.
Oh yeah,
and he still managed to keep together a good card. Tell you how strong the card was.
Sure, and that's important. I mean, that's what we're looking for. Is we're looking for shows that are doing it the right way.
Right.
Whether they're great productions or not, they're going to try and get better. We want people to be further in the sport, looking out for the safety of the athletes, and that's what's most important, and St. Louis is a hotbed, but lately there's been a whole bunch of one and done, or one and regroup and then do another one, and we, we're not against, I mean, it's a crowded market, and I'm a promoter, and I'm still not against other guys coming out and doing shows, as long as they do it the right way, because my fear is that, first of all, the fighter safety, you got to make sure you take care of them, and it starts with the matchmaking, and and officiating, and hopefully, guys the sanctioning bodies aren't all the same. I think some are better than the others. I think some care more than the others. But hopefully they're doing it the right way, and then secondly, giving the fans something that's a good product.
Right.
Because if you're a first-time guy going to a show, Jay, and you've never been to one, and your buddy drags you off to a show, and it's a terrible production, it starts an hour and a half late.
For a seat.
Hour late, you pay
Right.
exorbitant amount, you can't see, or there's 8 fights, and they're mismatched, and they're all done quickly.
Oh,
And
you're
it's-
out of the business. You're not
And
going
it's just
back.
you're not going back, because next time the good production comes around, they go, hey, you want to go to this fight? And they're like, no, I went to one, and it was
Well, that's why
good.
you get a lot of people who go to the live events. They start watching on TV.
Yeah.
They've seen great events on TV, and then when they've gone to something, they were very disappointed.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
from
that
a
could
promoter's,
be one and done as a fan too, if you go to a
Yeah, I think most people have been wanting to.
especially if you spend that kind of money to go
Right.
see that event, you're not going to be quick to do it again.
well,
But Jim, we've talked about doing, fighter of the year or fighter of, trainer of the year, school
Gym
of the year.
yep.
And, we intend to do that, but I think another good thing to reward or to at least recognize would be the matchmaker of the year. And-
Promoter, matchmaker,
Yeah.
event of the year.
Exactly.
There's a lot of fun things that could be done to get some
Well,
recognition.
Yeah, I think, and it's competitive enough. I mean, amongst the fighters, I'm all for a fighter of the year and a couple honorable mentions. I think the same thing for school of the year or camp of the year and a couple honorable mentions. Promoters, let's just honorable mention or matchmakers, both. The ones that are doing outstanding jobs.
Yeah, you should really do both. You should say the promotion and the matchmaker, whether it's the
They
same
go
or
hand
not.
in hand.
Right.
They have to go hand in hand. If you have a great card of fighters fighting, but everything is terrible in the production, it starts late, you're waiting, just all the crap that we've all been through.
That could not be a matchmaker.
But we've got we've got enough good promotions here in town and enough smart promoters that do a really good job. I'm very proud of our market. It's when people ask me, I don't need any more competition as a promoter. And I certainly don't want to teach everybody what's going on, but they ask me why I help some of these other guys, because I want them to do a good show. I want them to increase the St. Louis market and to make the fighters safe and to do things the correct way.
Yeah, it's only beneficial for everybody, because like you said, if you go to one crappy show, it ruins you for the rest of the
And
time.
the safety of it too, I'm blown away, I'm blown away by a lot of these promotions now. They're first time promotions and they're doing title fights. Like title fights are just anything now.
And it's like,
Promotional titles don't mean a lot
Right.
compared to the sanctioning body titles and some of the other stuff going on, but they mean a lot to the fighters. And the guys that are the sudden impact champions are champions of my promotion. I do 6-8 fights a year.
right.
That's a lot of fights. So if you're the champion of my promotion, I take it seriously. It may not be, it's not the state champ, but it means a lot to them. It means a lot to me. And I want that to be important. I don't know how you can do a first time fight and have title fights on there unless it's for the sanctioning body.
Right.
So promotional titles are just being thrown out there like they're nothing. Now guys like Patrick Smith doesn't do that. That's a great example. He goes by the Combat Sports Commission's, regional and section